Do you ever have that thing where you're just searching through old hard drives or whatever and you come across something you made like ages ago and you just forgot about and never put out? Because that happened to me with this review. This review that you're about to see for the Doctor Who book Diamond Dogs, I recorded back in October 2019, in the before times, before 2020 and everything it brought. October 9th, 2019, I recorded this review, and I never got around to editing it or putting it out in any form. So I thought, now, why not? Let's get it out there. It's just sitting on my hard drive, not doing anything. I might as well make some use for it. So I hope you enjoy this review of this very, very late review. I mean, it was late recording it anyway. I think I recorded it a year after the books came out, or maybe even more, a couple of years after the books came out. Now, it took me ages to get it out to you, but it's out now. And with all that said, let's cross to me 2 years ago with much shorter hair and a much shorter beard. Diamond Dogs is a 12th Doctor novel by Mike Tucker, and I'm going to review it here today on my channel. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I talk about all the geeky pop culture stuff that I love. I'm Phil, I love Doctor Who, which is one of the things I love, and I'm going to be today talking about this novel, the 12th Doctor new series adventure, Diamond Dogs. This came out in 2017, so took me a while to get around to reading it. Unlike my last review, where I reviewed this book, The Shining Men, I not only took a while to get around to reading that one, it was about 6 months after I read it that I reviewed it. This one, less of a time gap. Let's just say I finished this by the sunny pool in Cyprus when I was on holiday a few months ago, end of August, and it's now beginning of September, beginning of October, so a month and a bit ago I finished this book, so bit of a short time frame, it's a bit fresher in my memory. So in this book, the Doctor decides to take Bill to a diamond mining facility for the purpose of stealing a diamond. He has a kind of good reason, I guess. He just needs the money, I think. Although you'd think as a university professor, he would be fairly well paid, but apparently he needs the money, so he doesn't see anything wrong in, just popping to a diamond, stealing one little diamond. It's fine. But as usual, of course, comes across death, destruction, alien invasions, all that sort of stuff while he's there. So what's he going to do? He's got to stay and help out, hasn't he? To start with, there's accusations of industrial sabotage. Fair enough, given that he's, found in a vault stealing a diamond. But there's also a miner that has gone missing in the gas of Saturn. This is a mining facility that floats above Saturn and sends miners down to collect diamonds, which are apparently plentiful in Saturn. There's actual potential industrial espionage going on, and yeah, there are some strange new aliens which come up from the gas of Saturn. All of that is going on in this story, so it's quite a packed thing, quite a lot going on. Mike Tucker does a really good job of establishing the supporting characters in this. Some better than others, some get more development than others, but I think that's probably okay. You can't expect everyone to have this great arc in the story. But what I think he does do is establish the relationships between the different characters really well. So you've got all of the mining crew, you've got the aliens that come up, but it's especially with the mining crew and the company bigwigs that have come from head office from Earth to oversee and what's going on and what the problems are. There's really good relationships established between all of them in terms of the way they interact without too much sort of over explaining it and exposition. You kind of just get a feeling of who's ally and who likes who and stuff just from their interactions as part of the plot. So it doesn't feel like it needs to spend time having a whole scene just explain who these people are. We just kind of pick it up, and that's really helpful for keeping up the pace of the book. The Doctor himself is again very well portrayed. I think this whole batch of books has done a really good job of portraying the Doctor as feeling like he fits in with his characteristics from season 10 and feeling like it naturally flows, and there's nothing there that really jars and makes you think this isn't how the Doctor would react. Now, some people may say, hold on, he's being a criminal at the beginning here, but don't forget, we've seen the Doctor be a criminal before. I mean, let's face it, he stole his TARDIS to start with. His whole, the Doctor is unlawful good, if you want to put it in that chart thing that has chaotic and lawful and all that sort of stuff on it. He's unlawful good. He's perfectly happy to break rules and laws if it serves the greater good. And in this instance, he views him stealing a diamond as serving the greater good, because it can, help them survive, and they help lots of people. So that's fine. He's unlawful good. But obviously, because he's happy to break rules left, right and centre, he often gets the backup of people that like the rules followed. And a lot of the crew, especially the people that run this place, the security team, and the general manager of the mine, like the rules followed. So when they find him in the vault stealing a diamond, they're not particularly happy. And what I like about this book is seeing which characters, what I thought was really clever was seeing which characters kind of gradually come around to his way of thinking. Because the Doctor has always been very good at getting people on side, even if they don't like him to start with. And it's usually, and in this book it definitely is, the people that he can't get on side that aren't that trustworthy. And it's a good indicator throughout the book. So eventually he kind of sort of slightly wins around the general manager. Although the general manager is always distrustful of the Doctor, he kind of feels like he's in a position where he has to let him do his thing, let the Doctor do his thing, because he's between a rock and a hard place. But he's not constantly throwing obstacles in the Doctor's face. Unlike the sort of more corporate business side of the company that has come to visit. There is a character called Laura Palmer, who I think is the most developed of all. She gets a great story arc throughout the whole thing, and the whole novel is bookended by sort of a prologue and an epilogue from her and from her perspective. She gets some lovely character arcs. She gets some lovely sort of insights into her personality. I think she's security on the mine, and she ends up trusting the Doctor the most out of all of the crew of the mining ship, which is a good indicator that she's a good egg. Laura is very much into the visual wonder of Saturn, which she gets teased for occasionally by other people on the rig. But which brings me actually to some of Mike Tucker's brilliant use of language throughout this, because he's got such a great visual writing style in terms of describing things, and that applies to the ships and to the general environments and things, and also to people's personalities, but particularly when he's talking about the view, and the view that Laura Palmer particularly is viewing of Saturn, and her internal monologue, and what she thinks and feels about this view. I'll read a bit actually, because there is one in the prologue, so it's not spoilers at all, because they are really good. Not spoilers because it's right at the beginning. The gas giant itself had been impressive enough. A vast glowing ball, its surface dimly reflecting the glow of the distant sun. Lightning storms crackling and flashing deep in the depths of the monumental cloudscape. But it was the rings that had made her breath catch in her throat. They soared around the planet like wings, huge, ethereal, impossibly vast. And just like that language, I think he's really got the sort of descriptive language down there. And that continues throughout, both about Saturn and also in a less magical sense about things like the ships and stuff like that. He's really good at putting the visual in your mind. I do wonder also, completely off tangent, if he's a Twin Peaks fan, because he named her Laura Palmer, which if you watch Twin Peaks, which is an amazing show from the early 90s, and then they brought it back in 2017, the same year this book was released. They brought it back for a third season called Twin Peaks: The Return. So trippy, so amazing. I'm going completely off tangent, but fantastic TV series. And the one of the characters in that is called Laura Palmer. I just wonder if that's a reference to that. Probably is. So the bad guys in this, well, there's multiple bad guys in this, which I think makes the story really interesting. You've not just got, okay, bad aliens are attacking us, let's defeat them. Because you've got several different types of bad guys. You've got saboteurs on the on the ship itself. Who are they? There's this whole mystery about them. You've got the corporate corruption as a sort of bad guy element as well. Then you've got this other alien race, not the ones that are coming up from Saturn, that are just kind of there. And I think there's only one character that's actually of that race, but they're there as a kind of background, and they, you know, you don't know if they're going to be important or not, but they referenced quite a lot. Then you've got these aliens that are coming up from the gas clouds of Saturn, and they are the sort of big menacing traditional, you know, they are the what you would call the monster of the week if this was a TV series episode. They're the Baal, I think they're called. And I think the story does really well in not presenting them as completely black and white villains. Delves into their motivations, and you might not always end up agreeing with their motivations. I mean, certainly I don't think you should be agreeing with all their actions they take, but I like the fact that it wasn't quite black and white. I won't go into spoilers here, but everything is not as it seems. There's not just one bad guy, and there's, as an outsider looking in, like the Doctor is, you kind of end up going, well, look, you've all acted like arseholes. Sort it out. And I think that's quite good. But ultimately, yeah, I think it's layered, that's the word I'm looking for. Very layered. It is a very fast-paced book. There's a lot going on. And in some instances, that could be too hectic. But I think Mike Tucker does sort of blend these in quite well. He moves between them, all the different elements and all the different types of, the sabotage story to the alien story to the mystery of the guy that's gone missing. All of that. He kind of glides between them in a really seamless way that works quite well and keeps up the pace, but doesn't feel too hectic. So it ends up being this exciting story. And there's this element of mystery throughout, but that element of mystery doesn't stay static. At first, the mystery is, what's happened to the guy that's gone missing, and then it's, who's the saboteur? What's going on? Why is this equipment malfunctioning? Then you've got what the aliens want, and it's kind of, again, it kind of flows quite naturally throughout all of those mysteries, but keeps the element of mystery up and keeps new elements being added to it. So you're constantly guessing and constantly going, I wonder if it's that, or I wonder if it's that, and it keeps the pace going, and it keeps it interesting throughout. So yes, Diamond Dogs, very good book. Do check it out. I would say, if out of these three books, I can't quite remember how much I like Plague City, but out of Shining Man and this one, I'd say Shining Man just tops it, but they are all very good books. So definitely worth one checking out if you're a fan of the 12th Doctor. Do check them out. Diamond Dogs by Mike Tucker. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, do hit those buttons, the like, share, subscribe, the bell, all that jazz. And I will be back for more book reviews sometime in the future. Hopefully I won't leave it 6 months, but after reading them next time. I have already read another Doctor Who book. I've read Who Killed Kennedy, which is one of the old Virgin Publishing ones. And I've got some thoughts on that. So I would like to try and record that as soon as possible. What did you think of this book? Let me know if you've read it. Let me know in the comments below. And I will be back for more soon. Goodbye.